Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. Today we're covering scams that come along with online gambling, plus a small business in Morton is moving to the Washington Square. And then we're getting a sneak peek at some local high school marching bands as they prepare for the football season. But our first big story of the day includes scams surrounding online gambling and also a Morton business moving to the Washington Square. WMBD's Alex Berger has been on both these stories all day, joins us now to let us know about the scams and the future of the local small business. So talk to me about these scams. What do you mean? What are these kind of scams about?
Absolutely, Cameron. So this comes after the Better Business Bureau was alerted of around 200 gambling scams coming from online and also around 10,000 business alerts of online gambling scams. So these are overseas companies that are creating very cheap apps and websites to allow people to gamble on. People will find these websites, gamble on them. They'll spend however much money, and they're finding that the people are getting charged twice, 3 times, 4 times the amount that they put in. And then because it is overseas, they are not able to get a refund for this, and nothing is able to be done in that sense.
Wow. So then what's the Better Business Bureau? What are they recommending to do?
Yeah, they're recommending that people read the terms and conditions of the apps. There are very mainstream U.S. Gambling apps that people use pretty frequently for sports betting or otherwise. This is also coming from like slots games and stuff like that. Games that aren't just betting on sports, but you can use the regulated sports apps that are on the Illinois Gaming Board's website.
Approved.
Yes.
Okay. And you were talking about a business moving in Morton, and they're going to Washington now.
Yes.
Tell us more about why they're making the move.
Yes, absolutely. So this is Mud Creek Mercantiles. They are on Jefferson Avenue in Morton. They have been in that space since September of 2023. They grew up around Washington, and they have been in Washington for a long time. Talked to Lena Grimm, the owner. She raised her children there, and this is just kind of a dream for them to move from Morton to the Washington Square to be a business on the Washington Square. And they are moving into the old Foster Jewelry building.
Okay.
So,
Foster's. I know a bit about Foster's.
Yes.
But why Washington? Is it just because of that connection, or is there something more?
Yeah, it is because of that connection. They are kind of bringing their Western themed, they say it's a East of Western is what they do, because it's more than just Western themed. It is a place where people can kind of create their own stories through fashion or through different items that they have. There's a lot of faith-based products as well, and they're just able to kind of find their own fashion sense or anything like that. And Washington kind of allows them to bring this to a whole new community of people. So
wow, that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Well, here's a story that has got me and Alex and the Pokemon fans talking this evening. It's a new makeover for a classic Pokemon. Here he is. This is Victory Bell. That Pokemon is over 28 years old, coming from the original game released in 1996. But the new Pokemon game yet to be released teased a new form of the vicious plant-looking monster. And that's got the whole community in a bit of a state of shock, because look at this guy. He looks a little different. Look, now, I've looked at him a couple of times. He's kind of grown on me. The design choice was something. He seems to be choking on his own vines, which I think is, I don't know if I would choose that, because the other one looked kind of menacing. He looked kind of scary. And this one kind of just looks like a fat plant. Yeah.
Now, I don't know why. There are so many different Pokemon. Obviously, we're Pokemon fans. There's some from the Sinnoh region. There's some from, the new gen. Why, out of all of these Pokemon, are we redesigning Victory Bell?
Yeah, the thing is, that design already felt very complete, and now it's just this big bell-looking thing.
What is that?
I don't know.
Now, the real question is, Cameron, what is your favorite Pokemon game?
Ooh. I would have to say I love playing Pokemon Emerald just because there's so many different, like every route is different. Whereas like a lot of games where it just feels like it's just the same route, same design, same plans. What about you?
Pokemon White. Pokemon
Ooh.
White was my childhood game. I loved Zekrom. I loved getting that.
And that's like based in America. That's the American one.
Yes, absolutely. That's not the reason I like it.
Yeah.
I like the game for obviously the final evolution of the Pokemon there, and it just had such great stuff there. But Pokemon Ruby, I think, had the best starters.
Ooh.
That's my opinion.
That is valid.
So.
I think the Pokemon variety was really good, and then we got to Gen 6 and it was like, okay.
And now we've got Victory Bell.
Now we got Victory Bell looking looking like Homer Simpson. All right, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we've got Austin Feeman joining us to talk about students. Illinois State University heading back into the classrooms today. We'll have all the details when we come back. Welcome back. Another big local story of the day. Illinois State University launched the new College of Engineering with their first day of classes on Monday. WMBD's Austin Feeman joins us now with more on what the college offers and how it will better the university. Austin, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
So what does the college offer now?
Well, so the new college is going to be offering 3 new majors, all based around engineering. It's going to be mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and general engineering. Those are the 3 majors that they're going to be offering. And with those majors, they'll also be offering a bunch of new classes to teach these engineering, because, you have to be able to teach them some way. And all of these classes right now are taking place in Williams Hall. That's where all of their facilities and labs are. They have engineering labs in the building, so people can learn how to use, 3D printers, laser cutters, programming tools, all sorts of different engineering things that, an engineer would need.
I think I took my maths class in Williams Hall. I was like right down there. It's got a fancy hallway, and then you go into the rooms, and it's like very plain.
I walked in there, and I was like, I've never ever been in this building
before. You never really have to go in there,
No.
especially as comm majors.
Exactly.
Anyway, what will this do for the university?
So with a new program, obviously more people are going to be applying to the university to attend that program. So there's going to be more people coming into the university, putting more money for tuition and whatnot. So it's just going to help the university as a whole. And also, after college, it's going to be putting more engineers into the workforce. And right now, there's a dire need for engineers in the workforce. So in a few years, this is really just going to help build all of that up.
And I think as well with the ISU stuff, it's been something on the come on up, but U of I is a place that has also had an engineering degree. Is there some kind of friction between the 2 universities, do you think?
I'm not completely sure. With ISU just starting their engineering program, we're not too sure of how it will kind of play out almost. With new things, you kind of have to test it out a little bit first before you really know how it's going to work. So I think before I answer that question, we'll have to wait a semester.
Maybe
or a
as
year.
an ISU alumni, I could be biased.
Yes, me too.
But anyway.
Yes.
We've got a heartwarming story out of Chicago.
Oh.
That's going viral. After more than 2 months of searching, a legally blind man in Chicago is finally reunited with his emotional support dog.
Oh.
Bam Bam, a 14-year-old dachshund, was stolen from his owner's back home in June. The owner says he walked nearly 7 miles a day, handing out flyers and searching for Bam Bam. And finally, on Tuesday, a woman and man dropped Bam Bam off at the police station. Look, he looks so happy.
So cute and happy. He's found his family again.
He looks like one of those, sweet old dogs. I like when, some people, they're a bit mean to when the dogs get old, but I love them. When they get older, they're all calm. They want to cuddle. They want to sleep. They're adorable.
Of course. Sometimes those small dogs scare me a little bit,
The small ones?
Yeah.
I would have been more scared of the big cane corsos. They're like big dogs.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel protected when I'm around the big dogs. If they know who I am, I feel protected. But if I see a big dog in public, I'm going the other way. Absolutely, going the other way.
Yeah. I would have to strongly disagree with your opinion on little dogs. I will be a little dog defender here. I think it is. They're just little guys.
Yeah, they are. My mom has a few small dogs, and I will have to admit they are very cute.
Yes.
They're very cute.
Thank you. That's all I really ask for.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, but I had a Cocker Spaniel and a Staffy growing up. And the Staffy, I was a little bit, ooh, looks like a big brutish dog and a bit scary, but they're so sweet.
Yes.
They're really sweet. They're just lounge lizards. They
Of course.
sit in the sun, they warm up, and he was a bit bitey to some other dogs. But you know, we
Dogs
forgive.
will be dogs.
Dogs will be dogs.
Dogs will be
exactly.
dogs.
And especially, I still can't get over you don't like the little ones.
I don't know. There's something about it. They're
like a little
ankle
dash
biters.
What are they gonna do?
Bite my ankles.
What? Your ankles are fine. They're like bone.
I know, but like if you think of like a Chihuahua, it's gonna be like.
Yeah, but it's just making noise.
Yeah, but that's terrifying to me. But if a big dog came up to me and was like, you know,
That doesn't scare you.
No, I feel protected knowing that there's a big dog who will attack anyone that is coming.
You want a big dog to attack people?
No, if they're attacking me, yes. I'm not just going to send a big dog to attack people. That's just crazy. But if someone were to attack me, yes.
Okay. All right, well, we've got one more local story for you when we return on Beyond the Headlines. We're sitting down with our night anchor, Thomas Gavrick, for his feature story that focuses all on local high school bands. We'll get all the details when we come back. Now, another big local series at the station coming from WMBD news anchors Thomas Gavrick. He's been off the desk more than usual, covering marching band videos across Central Illinois, and he joins us now. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. My debut of Beyond the Headlines. How about that? I made it.
You made it. You made it. This is how you know you've made it.
Absolutely. To your point, I've been very busy in the entire month of August. Basically, what I do for this marching band series is I go out to 9 different high schools during the month of August, shoot all these during the preseason, and then release a marching band of the week each week. So it's been a lot of fun coordinating the schedules and all that, but it's truly, Cameron, for me, my favorite thing that I get to do here at WMBD News. Yes.
That means you've been hearing a lot of music.
I have. Yeah. I've heard a lot of music.
So for those who didn't catch this series last year, tell us more about the idea behind it.
Yeah, so as a station, we just really decided we wanted to put a really big emphasis on what a football Friday night in Central Illinois really means. And we talked about, yes, the highlights are great, talking to the players and the coaches are awesome, but we talked about the importance of what marching band means here in Central Illinois. We have cheerleaders in our 5:30 high school football show called Game Day Live that I host. We do the Spirit Poll where we're getting communities involved. All of that to really capture what those moments are like for a football Friday night. And so for me, getting to do this marching band series to really showcase these students and band directors and what they're doing is a lot of fun for me.
Oh, I could imagine.
Yeah.
And so how fun is it for you to get out to so many different communities? You basically tour almost all of Central Illinois doing this.
No kidding. After this year, 18 different marching bands in our coverage area I've been able to interview and speak to, and these students are just really kind individuals. They're really talented individuals. Their band directors are wonderful people, but it's been a lot of fun to get to connect with them and to see how excited they are when we come to show what they're doing. Because these students have acknowledged the fact that they feel like people don't know who they are. And, you know, my job and what I get to do is show this is what these marching bands can do, because there are a lot of talented groups here in Central Illinois.
Because I was really impressed coming from Australia. We do not have a marching band culture. And then when I came here, it was like every football team has their own band. And I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. We did like classical music in a room. And you know, these kids get to play trumpets while watching like people like tackle each other. Like, that's awesome. And so, what have you personally learned about these marching bands?
Well, for me, I only played the viola back in elementary school for maybe a year or two before somebody just kind of said, Thomas, you're just not very good at this kind of thing. And I was like, all right. So I gave my music thing a shot, but for me, it's just seeing what it really takes to put together a marching band. And there's all sorts of sizes of bands in Central Illinois. You have bands that are 30 kids. You have bands that are over 100. But the common theme comes back to the talent, the skill set that all of these students and marching band directors have. And it's unbelievable to watch because I tell people, honestly, what they do is just as hard as any sport because of the choreography, the planning, the preparation. Everybody has a job to do. And so for me to get to see that with all of these students, it's been a delight to see.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
And do you have any personal favorite moments of just like in there and you're like, wow, this is awesome?
I think really it's when they see myself, and then I want to give a quick shout out to our promotions manager, Scott, and then one of our videographers, Dennis, who helped me shoot these and put these together, is they just light up when we come and see them. And it's just, for me, getting to see them from a bird's eye view, whether it's up high or, you know, I've got a camera myself shooting video. It's really cool for me to get to see the smiles on their faces, the energy that they have, and the connection that they have with their band directors. I think that's a big common theme in this area is the band directors set the tone, the students follow it, and kids really love what they do.
That's really awesome. You're really showing a hidden part of America, an
100%.
underappreciated part, let's
Absolutely.
say. Well, before we go, one of the Chicago Cubs and St. Louis Cardinals' bitter rivals, the Milwaukee Brewers, are the reason for a massive burger celebration in Wisconsin this week. This is a result of a Brewers going on a 14-game winning streak, the longest in Major League Baseball this season. George Webb is a burger chain in the state. All 23 locations plan to hand out more than 180,000 burgers in a 5-hour time frame on Wednesday.
Wow.
Back in the 1940s, the owner himself, George Webb, boldly predicted a 12-game win streak for Milwaukee's team and said the city deserved a free burger if it happened. Crazy enough, this is now the third time in history that this has happened, with free burgers in 1984, I believe, or 1980 and 2018.
Yeah, I think it was 1987. Unfortunately, sometimes we've learned in our prompter system that sometimes numbers like to run off
Yeah,
the
they
screen.
just like to run away.
Yeah, they run away. It was 1987 and 2018, rather. How crazy is that? Who would have thought? George Webb, I'm sure, if he was still alive today, is probably like, I'm really regretting this because the price of 180,000 burgers is way more now than what it was back then.
Yeah, but at least, you know what? Everybody has full bellies. Everybody enjoyed the food. And look, it's a great way to get people to eat your burger.
100%.
Because you eat it, and it's like, wow, this is free. Nom, nom. And then you're like, wow, this is great. I want to buy it again. And then you've got customers coming in.
It's an expensive marketing tactic, but it's worth it for sure.
Honestly, I think as someone that knows sports, I would come if there was a free burger attached to it.
But that's cool. That's what, you know, I always tell people is what I appreciate about sports is local restaurants like that, just rallying around a team like that and just doing something to have fun and bring the community together is a great thing to see.
Exactly.
For sure.
Well, thanks for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines. We discussed gambling online and the scams that come with it, a look at a small business and more, moving to the Washington Square, and then we got a sneak peek of our marching band feature, which shows off local high school bands. You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.